They couldn't. All right, welcome. I am Darlene Armstrong-Smith. Most of you know me. You're on my team, but I want to introduce Annette Beckstrand. I think most of you know Annette. Annette is my upline leader. She's actually the one who sponsored me into Tranont. She's my fearless leader, who I love. And say hi, Annette.
Hello, everyone. Most of you I've met and I'm in love with too.
Okay, so awesome. So the reason that I wanted to do this, and then I invited Annette to participate with me, is because Annette and I went to a Ruby Summit, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. And I'm just going to go through and put everybody on mute. As you come in, if you would just mute yourselves, that would be really awesome. Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to mute everybody. I'm going to allow participants to unmute themselves. And Annette, go ahead and unmute yourself. I've muted everybody but me, so Annette, you go ahead. All right, thanks. All right, welcome, Suzanne. Glad to see you. I'm just taking a quick look at the group here. Awesome group with awesome results. Super excited. So Annette and I attended a first-time event, which was Mrs. Dowd, Mr. Dowd, Mrs. Belleville, Mr. Belleville held a, hi Terry, if you would just mute yourself, that'd be awesome. Thank you. Hi Wayne. So they had a 3 days, 2.5 days on Clear Lake at this amazing cabin and just did leadership, sales, growth. And I'm not going to go into everything that we learned there, but over the next, I live in an apartment and I went home and I got my kitty cat. And so my cat is trying to get me to pet her. Michael, can you come get the kitty? She's desperate. She hasn't seen me in weeks and she's desperate to have me pet her. So, okay. So, Annette, did we or did we not learn some incredible things?
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. I almost filled my notebook that I took because there was just so much to write down and I couldn't even write down all of it. I'm really glad I recorded some of it so I can listen to it again.
I did the same. I recorded some of it. And Annette and I will be sharing some of those things with you over the next couple of weeks. I think they're here. I'm going to give the kitty to Michael. Go see Daddy, kitty. Bye, Pepper Kitty. And so it's really hard to just kind of dump this, but we're going to try and sort of rain it on you over the next couple of weeks because we learned so much. And then this past weekend, I was blessed beyond measure to be at base camp, which I will explain base camp in just a little bit. But the first thing I want to do is I want to get the elephant in the room out of the room, and that's merchant processing. We know that there are issues with processing credit cards, and I want you to know that this is absolutely not a Tranont problem. This is a CBD problem. We are pioneers. I want everybody to understand that we are absolutely pioneers of what we are doing. And as pioneers, we know that there are going to be places where there isn't even a trail, where we are going to be responsible for blazing the trail. So I want everybody to take a deep breath and relax. So one of the things that we were challenged with last month is that we already knew that American Express and Discover were not allowing any purchases of CBD products. There's two reasons for that. The first reason is because so much of the CBD on the market is such poor quality that people are buying it with their credit cards and then they are returning it and requesting refunds. So the merchant processing companies are being overrun with what are called chargebacks, meaning that they have to go after the companies that have sold the products and get their money back for the money that they've paid out. And it's not always easy because many of these CBD products are being manufactured by nefarious companies. Well, and that's giving CBD processing a bad name. Now, we know that on the last day of last month, MasterCard also stopped accepting purchases of CBD products. That wasn't Tranont CBD products, that was all CBD products. And so we were able to use Visa cards. Not everybody was able to use a Visa card. Not everybody's Visa card was accepted or approved. So we know that that's a problem. So I just want to encourage everybody who knows that they still need to get points and they're still going to buy CBD products this month to go ahead and order them today. You know, don't wait till the last day of the month. It is possible to send a check into Tranont. You can mail a check to Tranont. You need to make sure that it arrives before the 30th. That's the main thing, or we're in August, so the 31st. So you have until the 31st. So if you're going to send a check, you might want to pay the extra bucks and mail it in early. Or another option is to get a prepaid Visa card and use load your prepaid Visa card with your MasterCard or American Express card, or, and that's possible. You can do that. But Tranont is also making some concessions because they know that we have this challenge right now. And one of the things that they're doing is they are allowing upline leaders to use their Visa cards to make purchases on behalf of their downline associates. That's something that we normally are not able to do because that's a compliance issue. But as long as it is documented, it will be accepted and it will not get in the way of compliance. So I'm going to give you an example. An example would be that my friend Terry, who is on this call right now, only has an American Express card and she wants to buy her CBD. So she calls me and says, "Hey, Darlene, I want to get my Soothe and I can't use my card. I don't have a card that I can use." I will tell her to send me via Venmo, Venmo, which is a fee-free app that is peer-to-peer, person-to-person exchange of funds. She can actually use her MasterCard or American Express to send me money via Venmo. I can then make the purchase on her behalf. Okay, somebody's exercising and has their video going. So I would say that if you're exercising and you got your video on, yeah, there you go. Might not want us to watch that. So, and I love multitasking, by the way, so I'm totally cool with you exercising. So we can, as long as we have to call customer support, we have to let them know that we can do it so that they document it, and then we can make a purchase on your behalf. So for example, my Visa card works just fine. I've never had my Visa card declined for a Brizo Pure purchase. So we have ways around this. Don't wait till the last day of the month. Don't get frustrated and angry. If you're enrolling a new associate, just call customer service. Tell customer service that their card will not work and that you're going to use either a prepaid Visa card or you're going to use your own personal Visa card to order the stuff. Now, some people have really gotten a little bit irate about those charges. So, for example, a prepaid Visa is going to cost you $4. They're $3.99 at Walmart or $3.95, something like that. And then one of the challenges that we had last month was that because instead of allowing our merchant processing for Brizo Pure to be completely shut down last month, the company decided to go to another bank in the Turks and Caucasus, I think, or in the U.S. Virgin Islands. I'm not sure. I think the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Virgin Islands.
The Virgin Islands to process our card. And then that added a $3 international fee. Now, I get that nobody likes to pay fees. We don't like to pay fees. But I'm going to tell you right now that you're in business, and you are a pioneer in business. And so I just believe with all my heart that sometimes we're going to just pay a little bit extra. It's going to cost us money to do business. And a few dollars in fees should not break the bank. If it is going to break your bank, call me or call Annette and let's see if we can find a workaround that's not going to cost you fees. That's the bottom line. The company doesn't want you to have to pay extra fees. They don't want you to be burdened. They don't want any of this to happen. I'm also going to tell you that 4 major network marketing companies tried to hide their CBD products from their merchant processors among their other products and get them processed. And 4 major network marketing companies were shut down last month by the Direct Sales Association, who found them in violation of, that was unethical. So those of you who believe that what Tranont did was unethical, Tranont is doing everything absolutely above board, being completely exposed, showing the Direct Sales Association exactly what they are doing, keeping Brizo Pure and our CBD products completely separated from our other products so that we are clearly not hiding anything from anyone. This is about transparency. This is not about corruption. This is not about deceit. This is not about, trying to do anything underhanded. If anyone is trying to do things the correct way, it is Tranont. And Tranont ultimately is going to be rewarded for it. Number one, we have the best CBD product on the market. We have the most amazing process that no one can match. 3 years from now, we are going to be a household name, and our CBD products are going to be the benchmark that everyone else is trying to achieve. So stay the course. Don't get mad. Just give me a call and we'll try and work it out. Give customer service a call. They are there to help. The one thing that I would recommend, though, is if you are waiting till the last day of the month to make your own purchases, just go ahead and do it before Saturday. Don't wait till the last day of the month unless you absolutely have to. And then be prepared. If you're going to order from Brizo Pure, make sure that you have a prepaid Visa card, or give me a call and send me some money via Venmo, and we'll use my credit card to make the purchase. Now, when we do that, we do have to get on with customer service and do it while we're on with customer service. They will then look at your back office and the purchase that was just made, and they will remove my credit card or Annette's credit card, or if you're doing this for some of your downline, it will remove your credit card from their back office so that your credit card information is not being stored in your associate's account. So I hope that makes sense. Any one of you, just reach out to me. I'd be happy to have a phone call with you, answer any additional questions. But the bottom line is they are working tirelessly. They have found a new merchant processor. They are very, very close to an agreement, but it seems that every time Tranont gives them what they want, they ask for one more thing. Again, it's not a Tranont issue. It's because they're looking at the banking industry, and the banking industry is saying, okay, we want one more thing. We want one more thing. We want one more thing. All right, enough about merchant processing and Brizo Pure. Is it a pain in the neck? Yeah, you're a pioneer. And the ones that get to the valley first get the best pieces of land, So just hang in there and be a pioneer. The second thing on my list is changing 1 billion lives. So I am a businesswoman, and I maintain a certain amount of skepticism that can be healthy or unhealthy. And when I went to base camp, which is, as I explained base camp to you, it's a 2.5 day incredible time in a mansion cabin. The cabin is just extraordinary. It's so beautiful. The scenery is so beautiful. And you spend that time with the founders of the company, with the founders and with Craig Cotter. So you're there with Russ Losey and with Lauren Berry and with Scott, tall, skinny guy. What's his name, Annette?
Bland and Susie.
What is the last name?
Scott Bland.
Bland. Okay. See, he's not bland at all, so I have a really hard time connecting his name to him. And then Craig Cotter, who is not one of the founders, but he's the executive vice president of sales and marketing. So, and he's amazing. So when I went to base camp, the last piece of skepticism that I had was the idea that they have a mission. So we have a mission statement at Tranont. Our mission is to change 1 billion lives in 20 years, one family at a time. And of course, change lives for the good, right? Well, for me, that has felt a little bit like a tagline, a little bit like a marketing slogan. And I wanted to get in there and really dig deep into these men's hearts and their minds and find out. And you know what I found out is they believe it. That's not a tagline for them. It's their heart's mission. They believe that through this incredible ripple effect that we're going to create in the world of wonderful health products, wonderful wealth products, and the service that our Tranont community gives, that we can make a difference to 1 billion lives in the next 20 years. So that part of my skepticism is gone. I'm an absolute believer. Annette, what do you think?
Well, yes, I'm an absolute believer. I know we're going to do this. I know that our CBD products are going to be a household name. I know that because I'm seeing the difference in what people are experiencing between those other companies. And I've seen the response from some of the people who were in those other companies when they found out what their company was doing and the level of integrity that Tranont has had. And where some of them already loved the products, but for this reason or that reason weren't ready to come over to Tranont and build, they're coming over in droves. If you know people in those other companies, now is the time to help them understand how they can help change 1 billion lives and how it can benefit them and everybody they love. It's amazing, you guys. We could not be in a better place at a better time right now.
Right. So thank you, Annette. So the founders of Tranont, these are outstanding human beings. They are people of integrity. They are people with high moral values. Just really, really extraordinary individuals. I fell absolutely in love with all of them. Their wives are amazing. And so I want you to know that there is no part of what Tranont is doing that I am skeptical about, worried about, concerned about in any way. And then the next thing that I want to address is our upline leaders. So first of all, I want you to understand, Annette is our first upline leader. She is our first Ruby leader. I'm a Ruby, Annette's a Ruby. And so she is our first upline leader. And she is wonderful. I mean, you know her. You know what a great support she's been to us, how wonderful she's been. Then we have a pretty big gap up to our next upline leader, which is Jeff and Kat Belleville. And Jeff and Kat Belleville are have the fastest growing team in all of Tranont. So we're in a group that has massive growth going on, which should be exciting to everybody to be part of that, because when you're part of something that's in growth and momentum, it's exciting. And people get excited by it. But not only that, they're also offering us so much, good training and good support and, Team Summit TV, and they're going to be doing more and more short videos to help us learn how to build our own craft and also how to help new associates get up and running even faster. And then of course at the very top of our upline are the Dowds and the Diebels. And I'm going to tell you right now, I spent 3 days with the Dowds a week ago, and I spent 3 days with the Diebels in this past weekend, and I have never met people of greater character, greater courage, more true love and affection, but deep, deep honesty. Just think, if you ask those people a question, they are going to tell you the truth. And many of you may not know this, but they left their last company because of integrity issues, because they felt that something that was going on there was not right. They walked away from multi-million-dollar businesses, and they went searching for their next opportunity. And they had a lot of options, because remember, the Dowds and the Diebels are in the certified in the top 50 individuals in network marketing earners, top 50 earners in the world of any network marketing company. So if you don't think that they were courted and wooed by multiple companies, that they looked at lots of companies, and in the end, what they chose was Tranont. And they chose it for a number of reasons. One, they are blown away by our compensation plan. They have told me that there is no compensation plan out there that can get money into people's hands as fast as Tranont does. There is no company out there that has the ability for you to actually be in six figures in 6 to 12 months. And you can. If you get to work on your business, you can be earning a six-figure income in the next 6 to 12 months. Absolutely. So that's a little bit about our upline leadership. They're just amazing. So now what I want to go into, Annette and I did some work on Facebook launch parties, and we're going to do that at the end. But first, I'm actually going to go through some stuff just because I want to quantify this for you about how you get to Jade, Pearl, and Ruby. Because everybody on this, anybody watching this, everyone watching this, I want you to get to Ruby, because I want to know that my babies, and Annette wants to know that her babies are at base camp, okay? And I want you to know that not all Rubies are invited to base camp. It's an invitation. And the bigger the company gets, the more Rubies there are, the invitation's going to become more and more exclusive. And I actually asked Mr. Losey, it seems to me that the way we're growing, Ruby is going to be, you're going to have too many Rubies to be having base camp with Rubies. I said, surely it's going to be Sapphires pretty soon. And he said, yes, I believe that by sometime next year, base camp will no longer be for Rubies. It will be for Sapphires. And eventually, it will be for Emeralds because of the way that we're growing. So get Ruby right away so that you can get an invitation to base camp. I want you to go. I want my babies at base camp. So does Annette, right? Nod your head, Annette. We want Annette, were you thrilled that your baby was at base camp?
Oh my gosh, it was so exciting. I was just dying because I knew before the call went out to her. And I'm like, Darlene, have you checked airline tickets? Darlene, have you checked this? Darlene, you ought to check this in case they call, because I was bursting. I already knew. And because of the momentum. And you guys, that's it. It's about hitting Ruby and having some momentum on your team. And the thing is, each of you can do this. Each one of you can do this. I've met each of you. Darlene and I have talked about each of you. We know that you can do this. Some of you in this group have been Pearl for a really, really long time, and life has gotten in the way. Things have happened, and we really just need to see what's happening here, and just, are you going to pluck them out, Darlene? Pluck them out of Pearl and put them in Ruby, because you guys are so close.
Close. They're so close. And I'm sure, Annette, you must have some people who are just so close.
Closer than they know. Closer than they know.
Closer than you know. So I'm going to jump in here now, and I just did some simple stuff. So first of all, we're just going to say, how do you get to Jade? Okay, everybody just think, because I definitely have some Jades on the call tonight, and I have some people who are this close to Pearl, and I've even got some people who are this close to Ruby, okay? So how do you get to Jade? Jade is 1,500 points and 3 associates. So we're just going to think in terms of Jades, okay? We are going to become Jade making machines. Everybody on this call, you are a jade making machine. Even if you haven't made jade yet, you are a jade making machine, because the easiest way to get to jade is to make a jade. That is the easiest way to get there. Make a jade, because what is a jade? 1,500 points. You have to have 1,500 points to be jade. So make a jade, and you are a jade. Okay. So help one person make jade and have 2 additional associates, and bingo, you are a jade. This is an industry. Now, this 30 exposures equals 1 jade. So you make, right now, if you have not made 30 exposures, Annette, do you remember how many people I called my first week in Tranont?
You committed to 100 a week.
Well, I committed to 100 my first week. I have done a couple more 100 people commitments, and that's...
Yeah, but you made jade in 10 or 12 days. So that ripple effect and that incubation period.
That's correct. So my first week in Tranont, I called or messaged or talked to face-to-face 100 people. So 30 exposures equals 1 jade. So if you haven't made jade yet, why haven't you done 30 exposures? You need to be calling your friends. There are people who want what we have. They're crazy not to do what we're doing. And so if you are not engaging me or Annette in 3-way calls or 3-way messenger groups or 3-way text messages, we're not helping you, and you're doing yourself a disservice, because you can't sell your friends. Annette and I can say things to your friends that you can't say. So get us in 3-way conversations. Okay. So 30 exposures is 1 jade. This is not a Tranont. This is a Tranont and an industry number. It's not made up, but has been established. So 30 exposures makes a jade. 30 exposures is 1 exposure per day in a regular month. I only work 6 days a week, so I have to double up. If I want to make jade in 1 month, I'm going to have to work a little bit harder on a couple of days. It's daily consistent effort, my friends. Daily consistent effort. Okay. So now, whoops, where did the page go? Didn't load. No, that's not what I want. Uh-oh. I hang on just a second. I got to get out of this view. I'm going to go into edit mode because I want to make sure that you see everything. Why? Wait a minute. I lost a whole bunch of stuff. What? Maybe it's at the end. Oh, no. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm going to start right there. Somehow I pushed something out of the way. Okay, so do you see where it says Pearl? Let's jump to Pearl now. Annette, raise your hand if you see that. Okay, awesome. Okay, so Pearl is 5,000 points. That's 4 jades. Okay? It would be really cool for all 3 of your associates, your 3 associates, to make jade, but it might not happen. So how do you get 3 more jades? Remember, you've already got 1, so you need 4 jades to become a pearl. Okay? 4 jades to become a pearl. Now, you already have 1, remember? Because to get to jade, you made a jade. So now you got 4, so you need 3 more, okay? So how do you get there? You help your associates promote their associates to jade. It's all about helping create jades. They don't have to be your personal jades. They just have to be in your downline. You want to help your associates promote their associates to jade. And now you're a leader and you're behaving as a leader. So if jade is 1 exposures per day, then pearl is 3 exposures per day for 3 new jades. But here's the thing that's cool about that. It's not your exposures. It's the whole team's exposures. Do you need to get all of these exposures? No. You and your downline will do these exposures. Okay? And then if we look at Ruby, and I didn't do Ruby, but if we think about Ruby, remember that Ruby is 2 times Pearl. So if Ruby, or if Pearl is 4 jades, then Ruby is 8. Now, Ruby's actually 7, but I'm going to go ahead and say 8. It is actually 7. It's actually 7. If you have 7 Jades on your team, you will be a Ruby. Okay? I have 2 pearls, and I have 9 Jades on my team. That's why I'm a Ruby. And that's why I'm really close to Sapphire. Okay? I've got more than I need. Okay? So that's really cool. So if you want to do the math on this, just please let me know, because I absolutely want to do these numbers for you. I want to tell you exactly what you and your group need to do in order to get the exposures. And then, Annette, will you just jump in and give us an idea of some exposures?
Oh, okay. Well, exposures are adding them into the Freedom Focus Group so that they can see what happens after they learn about the products in Health Wealth Community, how they can share and see how they can make money from doing that. Because we don't talk about money in Health Wealth Community, but we talk about money and strategies and things like that in the Freedom Focus Group. Same idea, different topic. And exposure is getting somebody on a webinar. My gosh, this week you have Jennifer Dowd in Utah live. Then you have her doing a webinar on Wednesday. You have Sean Loomer in Arizona, and we're waiting to see if that's going to turn into a live webinar on Wednesday. Locally in California, there's some ladies' health luncheons going on. There's all kinds of things all the time. There's recorded webinars. So you can do live webinars and recorded webinars. You can have your own home meeting where you invite people to your living room. You could meet someone somewhere for coffee, which, you know, my favorite that Mrs. Jennifer Dowd got me addicted to is steamed vanilla milk, because I'm not a coffee drinker at all. And she's like, oh, well then you've got to do steamed vanilla milk. So I do that in the summer, and I do hot caramel apple cider come October through Christmas at Starbucks. So those are simple exposures. You can invite people to get on a 3-way with your leader and let us answer their health questions with them or their financial questions with them, and take them slowly through a walk of more information.
Perfect. All of those things are exposures, and my team knows that now on this call, I actually happen to have presenters. So being a presenter is super important. So I love that I have presenters on this call. But if you're not a presenter yet, or if you want to become a presenter and you need a little bit of help, reach out to me and I will help you learn how to do your own webinars or do your own launches, whatever you need. I'm here to help. Annette is here to help. And so, you know, there's a lot of ways to do exposures. And what that's going to bring us into now, the last thing that we want to talk about tonight is we want to talk about the Facebook launch party. And we recognize that technology is really important, but we have found that it's not really very effective to post things about your business just in your regular feed, because people just, you know, they're just not, if I look at, they're just not interested. They're going to miss them. They're going to float right past them. They're going to know that you've already posted 20 things about CBD this month and they're kind of tired of it. So it's not really ideal. It's not super effective. If you go look at my Facebook page, you see about once every 2 weeks some kind of comment about CBD. I'm much more likely to be posting things about natural health. I'm more likely to be posting things about research. I'm more likely to be posting stuff that's funny or that's engaging in some way, even a poll or something like that, just to get people into a conversation. But it's not about my business. But when we were at Team Summit, we were exposed to this idea of not an event, because sometimes, like, you may have been invited to a Pampered Chef event or a book event or something like that, that's an online party. But we're not going to do events. We're actually going to do a Facebook group. And the reason for that is because within a Facebook group, you can actually schedule your posts. So the first thing that we're going to do is, and Annette and I are working on this, we're writing scripts for you, we've recorded videos for you, and we're going to put this whole thing together in a nice little package that you can tie with a pretty pink bow and create a launch party for yourself that's basically going to drip on your friends for about 3 to 4 days. That will take them through short videos about our products. I think our longest video is the one about the wealth tools.
Yes.
And that one is, that's probably the longest one, and I think that one was about 12 or 13 minutes. But the rest we kept really short and sweet so that somebody could come home from work at night, they could see a video, it's maybe 5 or 6 minutes or less than 10 minutes, and they can learn what you're doing. They can learn about what you're doing. So how do we do this? Number one, we start with an introduction video, or we invite 50 friends. Okay, you're going to limit yourself and you're going to invite 50 friends. If you invite 50 friends, I think chances are about half of them are going to join, are going to accept the invitation. We don't know. Pioneering this. We're actually doing something that not a lot of people in Tranont are even doing. We're pioneering this. Okay, so our first few parties are going to be a little bit of a mystery. We know that we have estimates based on marketing and what Facebook, their algorithms and stuff, but what we know is that if somebody joins a group, they're going to see the group posts, and the group posts are going to be in their notifications. So the first thing we do is invite 50 friends, and you give them a few days to join, and then you're going to start with an introduction video. If you can't bring yourself to do a video, you can just make a welcome post. But I'm hoping that everybody on my team will step outside their comfort zone and do videos, because those are the most engaging, and people don't want you to be perfect or need you to be perfect. They want you to be engaged. That's what they want. So then Annette and I made a video, and you're going to do a post that introduces us. You're going to introduce Annette and Darlene. We're going to give you our bios. You're going to basically talk about us and pretend like we're a super big deal, which we're not, but they don't know that. Your friends don't know we're not a super big deal. And you're going to add the video of Annette and Darlene welcoming your guests to the party. And this is also where we added our testimonials. So we both gave our testimonials. Then you're going to add your testimonial. Again, it's best if you do this as a video, but if you can't bring yourself to do a video, you can write the post. And then you're going to add the first product video and ask people to give their feedback. So the first product video, we went in with the core. We went in with the health core. We did life, vibe, and balance first. And we talk about those remarkable products. And then we have some additional pictures that you can post after those, and then you can ask compelling questions, which we're also going to write for you and help you to have compelling questions. But the thing that's really great about this is that as you go through it, your friends are basically being dripped on about what you do, and it's being done in such a non-threatening way that they're being exposed to what your business is and what your products are. Then along the way, you're answering questions. So Annette and I are not really engaging with your group unless we're specifically asked. So if there's a question that we need to answer, but the sooner somebody starts to ask a question, that's when you're going to start a three-way chat with either me or Annette, so that we're engaged in that three-way chat with this person who's being dripped on by these product and services, testimonials, and videos. So then you're going to do the second product video, which is Restore and Glow. The third product video is our CBD products, where we do an explanation of the endocannabinoid system, and we talk about the healing properties of cannabis. Then is the Wealth Tools video, which is awesome for everybody. So those of you who haven't engaged in the wealth tools, because Annette has been, she's been selling those for 2.5 years, almost 3 years now. So she did this great video on the wealth tools that I think will really be useful not only to your prospects, but also everybody on this call who has not been engaged in those tools. All along this 3 to 4 day party, people are going to comment and ask questions. Engage with your guests as much as possible. Remember, they're your guests. They're not Annette's and my guests. They're your guests. So you're going to be engaging with them. You're going to be answering their questions, and you're going to be putting them into 3-way conversations with either myself or with Annette. And remember that this kind of business requires third-party validation. That's what we're doing. Annette and I are elevating you. We're speaking goodness into you. We're breathing power onto you. And we are answering questions that you don't know how to answer yet, or that are difficult for you to answer because it's your friend or family member. Because we can say things to your friends that you can't. Annette, I can say something to you, a friend of yours, such as, you'd be crazy not to do this. Right?
Right.
I can say that to one of your family members. Is it easy for you to say it?
Mm-hmm. No, there are some people I could never say, well, what are you thinking? If you want to solve this problem, why don't you listen to me? But you can say that in ways that I can't, and I don't wear it. It doesn't fall back on me. The person doesn't get upset with me. They'll listen to it completely differently from you. And 84% of them are going to accept it from you. And the others, if they don't accept it, I don't wear that. It doesn't come back on me. And so there's things that we can do together, tag teaming to support each of you, that you didn't know were possible with some of these same people who 5 minutes earlier told you no about something, who all of a sudden to us can't wait to follow through with something. It's incredible, you guys. The third-party validation is incredible, and we're not doing it enough for you. You need to allow us to come in and help you. It's actually a lot of fun for us, and it's very powerful for you.
Now, one of the things that I love is that I came back from my 10 days away to an inbox with 5 new associates in it in my organization. People who I cannot wait to reach out to, people who I cannot wait to get engaged with, and that I'm so excited about being able to interact with and help launch your businesses. So those of you, congratulations, you know who you are, who brought new people into the organization. In fact, we got a brand new associate on the call tonight. Yay, yay you, yay Jason, and Jason's wife. I can't remember your wife's name. I'm sorry, Jason. But hooray, you're already here, you're already learning, and I cannot wait to work with Jennifer and Paul to make sure that we're doing everything that we can, everything in our power to make sure that you start strong like Jennifer and Paul did. And the Walkers have some new associates, and Joanna's got a new associate, and I'm thrilled out of my mind. You guys are doing so great. Okay, next step. There are several opportunity and product videos and pictures that you're also going to add along the way. But remember, Annette and I are scripting out this entire thing. We're timelining it, we're scripting it, and most of these things, these posts, you can actually set up in advance so that you can just put this thing on autopilot and it's going to run for, 72 hours, or, if we want to go for 4 days, we can go for 4 days. Again, we're piloting this. I personally am actually going to do a launch myself. I'm going to do one, I'm going to invite 50 people out of my Facebook and do one. I'm just going to make sure I don't add people from my Facebook that are on my downline's Facebook too.
Right.
So don't worry, I'm not going to be snagging your folks. Don't worry. So the great thing is that in groups, it is possible to schedule. Much of the setup can be done in advance. It'll probably take a couple of hours to get the whole thing set up. And you can do it over a couple of days when you've got extra time, because you can get all of this set up before you say go, and that's pretty exciting. It'll probably take a couple of hours to get it set up, and then a few more hours during that 72 to 94 hours that 96 hours that you're going to run this, to be engaging, to be going into three-way conversations. So what can we expect? In the end, I estimate, just based on what we heard from the person who sort of piloted this, they got 5 new customers. I believe that if we do this right, that each of the people who does this, if they invite 50 people, you could have 3 to 5 new customers and 1 or 2 new associates at the end of 4 days. And the numbers are not as good. The close rate will never be as good as a home meeting, but sometimes we can't get people to watch a whole video or to attend a party. So this is an alternate. This is a way for us to drip on our friends, to show them what we're doing, to get them engaged in the conversation, and get new customers and associates. It's really non-threatening. One of the things that I do when I go in and do a home meeting is I say, okay, everybody get your wallet out, take it out to the car, lock it in your car, put it in the glove box, because I do not have any order forms here. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm just here to give you education. And people laugh at that, but they relax right away. As soon as I do that, their arms uncross, their minds open, because they know that I'm going to share information, but I'm not going to force a sale. And the thing that I think is super cool about this is that it is so duplicatable. So can you see that in that race to Ruby that you guys are on, that to get your Jades? So, I'm super excited because we've got Jason and his wife on here today. We're going to do this. We're going to do a belly-to-belly house, home party too. I guess I'm going to be flying to Texas here pretty soon. But, we are going to do a launch party. We're going to do a belly-to-belly. We're going to get those bestie friends, the ones that will move you or let you borrow their truck or will come and move a refrigerator for you. Those are the people that we can get into our homes, the people who will do anything for us. We can get them into our homes. And you may think when they come into your home that they're not going to join your business, but they're going to join your business. Some of those people are going to see the light bulb's going to come on, and they're going to join your business because they're going to see that we're on to something really amazing here that is changing 1 billion lives in the next 20 years, and they're going to catch the vision. But we can get people launched. I can get people relaunched. So those of you right now who have new associates who haven't really sort of got a foothold into Tranont yet, let's connect with them and say, hey, let's do a Facebook party. You might have been in the business for the last 5 or 6 months and not gone anywhere yet. It's not over till it's over. Until you say, I'm out, and send a letter to Tranont asking them to remove your name from the organization, you still belong to Tranont, and you can re-engage at any moment. So we're going to be reaching out to some people. If you've got people on your team that you have brought into Tranont, but they really haven't gotten their foothold in, don't worry about it. Let's do a Facebook launch with them. Annette, what would you like to add?
I was just going to say, I have had people tell me after 6 or even 8 months in the business that, and not really engaging the way that they could have, that have said to me, oh, this isn't for me. I should send a letter in and things. And I've told them, I don't think you need to send a letter in. Just let things, expire if you want to. It's not costing you anything to stay in. You like this product or that. Just, let's roll with what's happening. Let's not worry about sending letters in. And then 6 or 8 months later, they've contacted me and gone, am I still in Tranont? Did I get out? I want back in. I have this thing. I have this person. Somebody asked me a question. I heard about your new CBD. And they're so grateful that if they checked out, they checked out, but they didn't send that letter in. It's been amazing. So whatever you can do for yourself, for the people you love, if they're talking about that letter, get them on the phone with us. No pressure, just an explanation for why it costs them nothing to just wait and watch. don't send letters in.
Wait and watch. You see, I think there's a lot of people on my team right now that are waiting and watching. I've got some real builders. I've got some people who feel guilty that they didn't, that they thought they were going to do more than they did. But I think that this Facebook group launch is going to be a really fun way to re-engage. So everybody here, we're going to be rolling this out. So Annette and I, we figure that we're going to be ready on Wednesday to actually start our own. And what we're going to do is we're going to lay one out with all the scripts and all the videos, and we're just going to invite you to it so you can see what that looks like. We're going to put everything in there so you can just go through every post by post, so that you can just start at the bottom and work your way up to the top. And you can see everything that we've done. You can also make suggestions. We can make corrections. We can make adjustments. And then I'm going to launch my own. Annette, are you planning on launching your own? Are you going to do a group launch? Yeah, her eyes went really big.
I'm probably starting with my list of people who flake and never show up to meetings, or who've already told me no.
Yeah, I'm going after people who've told me no. And I'm going to say, 6 months ago, I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to say, 6 months ago, I invited you to take a look at my new products and services and my business opportunity, and you didn't really have an interest. But because you're a friend of mine, and because I care about you, and because I'm doing really well, and I want to share what I'm doing with you, I'm going to put you in a really non-threatening environment that you can just watch or don't watch, but at least you're going to know what I'm doing. And I'm going to know that you know. And so that's what I'm going to do.
And I think my approach is going to be more along the lines of, hey, remember back when I tried to talk to you about, well, I really didn't even know enough to explain it the way that you deserve to hear it. So I'm going to apologize for being a dork, and I'm going to ask you to give me another chance to give you the information you deserve the way you deserve it.
I love it. A do-over. We all deserve a do-over. We didn't know a lot when we started. I certainly didn't, so I made a lot of mistakes, but that just gives us a time to go back with vulnerability and humility to our friends and say, I want a do-over. But we can do it in such a non-threatening way.
And the nice thing about that, I'll tell you a little secret, is as I have done that in the past, different opportunities have come up that have allowed me to shape things like that, to go back to people. Some of them were people who were really not very kind in the way that they responded to my initial invitations. And they're the ones who actually probably owe me an apology. But when I do the apology first and I come out by explaining, I didn't do you justice. I need to do you justice. I need to do this the right way for you. All that is gone, and they listen. And I won't name names, but some of them are on my team now.
All right. So what I'm going to do now is I think we've explained this. I think that we're ready to go. An hour is what I asked for, and we're almost to the hour. But what I am going to do now is just allow you to unmute yourself if you have a question. If anyone has a question that they want to do in a public forum like this that's recorded, you can go ahead and do that. And I would be happy to see what, give you the best answers that I can. If you don't want to ask the questions in a public forum, just reach out to either one of us, and we're just so happy to get on the phone with you or meet you somewhere and make sure that those questions get answered. So TikTok, anybody want to unmute and say hey? I could sing the Jeopardy theme song, and we could go see if we could get.
Well, I'll definitely say hi.
Okay, who there?
And I'm so excited for what you guys have learned and what you're sharing with us. And I really like the idea of the not a Facebook event, but what you guys are coming up with. I think that'll be really good.
All right, so awesome. Thank you, Terry. And
Hi, Terry.
And the other thing that I want to add about this is that if I do a group this week, and then I decide I want to do another group next week, I can do exactly the same thing again, just with different people. I've got 1,000 people. Well, including my Indian friends, I've got 1,700 people on my Facebook. But I can do it over and over and over again. And every time you just start a brand new group, okay? So once you're finished with that group, you just let the group die. It just dies a quiet little death, and then you create another group. And we're just going to get better and better and better at this. Okay? We're going to get tighter. If Annette and I have to do new videos, we will. We think we did some pretty awesome ones, but you might think
sure we'll need to do more.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll need to do more. All right.
And one other thing, if you're doing your Facebook 555, imagine how that is going to mature as you build those relationships with those people, then you're paying attention to their personal lives and posts. They're also going to be new people you can funnel into this program. So this tags right up with the Facebook 555 that we all need to be doing anyway.
That's right.
So
one of the things that I'd like to, even add to this is, can you imagine doing this 3 days out of every month? I mean, you just set it aside and you say, okay, I'm the third week of every month or the first week of every month, I'm going to do a Facebook group. I would do it the first week of every month because then you've got the whole month to nurture that relationship, to answer questions and move it along. And then at the end of that month, you just let that group die its quiet little death. And then the next month you're ready to start again. But I can see a lot of possibilities here. There's 2.5 billion people on Facebook. And since we want to change 1 billion of those, where are we going to find them? I guess the last thing that I'm just going to add is that we are going to India before the end of the year. It's probably going to be in November. I had a lot of time to talk about what's happening in India. It's super exciting. They're going to be making an announcement on September 1st about India. And probably part of the CEO call is going to include some information about India. So that is super exciting. And I'm just going to tell everybody that's on my team that anybody who is a Jade by the time I go to India is going to get at least one Indian leg. So, because I'm going to spread a lot of India around on my team. So work hard, make sure that you get to Jade so that I can add Indians to your team. Okay, I'm going to say good night.
Wow.
And then I'm going to be sprinkling some Indians on you too. You're in my upline, but
all right. Well, we love you guys. We love you tons. I can't tell you how much Darlene loves all of you. She stayed with me for several days in between all of our shenanigans and leadership stuff, and aside from just how fun it was to be back together and doing things again, you're what we talked about. And just wanting to bring to you the things that we knew could bring success to you, the things that we knew could take you back to the reason you're why, the reason you're here in the first place. And it's all she talks about. It's what she lives and breathes, is how we can help you do that. And the same goes for my people. So we love you all. We're excited for you all. We are gonna put this together. We are gonna show you how to do it, and we're gonna fine tune it as we go. And this is just gonna be amazing. So just know that. Just know that, and come take this ride with us, because we are so excited to be doing this with you.
All right, thanks, Annette. Thank you for inviting your team to this, and thank you for all of my team members. I see my leaders. I see my leaders here, and I'm excited about that. So I'm going to go ahead and say good night now, and I will be, after this video renders, I'll be posting it to our group, and I'll be posting it on our messenger, and make sure people watch it with them. Do whatever you need to do, but let's get some excitement going. All right, good night, everybody.
Good night.